And we are back in live, off-centered bi-weekly every Wednesday night, every other Wednesday night. We are back on. Michael Hamm is trapped in the eye of the hurricane. He said that he's okay, but he is not logged in yet. So we will see what happens with old Hammbone. Neo, Steve, how are we doing tonight?
What's up, boys?
Doing good. So it's one or two things. Either Ham is still recovering from the fantasy beatdown I gave him 2 weeks ago, or he's fearing the fact that he faces Neo this week. So who's he trying to dodge?
He's the heavy favorite this week. My team's really banged up.
You got some injuries.
Yeah, my team is mostly Saints, which has been good through the first 2 weeks, and this past week was not as good. That was a tough one. That was a tough pill to swallow, that game, because we had that game wrapped up, and we just let it slip through our fingers. All right, Ham is texting.
You had the defending champ this week.
That's right. I've got Jeff this week, and we're playing the Falcons, so it's kind of a double.
Oh,
it's doubly as emotional.
He's the only undefeated team. He's still the only undefeated team this year, so there's no way we can let Jeff repeat. It'll look terrible. I'm rooting for everybody but Jeff.
All right, hold on. I'm just trying to get him in here. He's saying that he's using the Instagram link. Did I send the right?
You texted it. You didn't Instagram it.
I sent it separately to him on IG.
He says, hold on.
Technical difficulties, as always.
Okay, copy link. Go back to this. Say hello to Ray. What's going on? Zach Pierce. Life goals have Neo type money, just lighting it on fire, opening Topps Chrome. That's right. Neo's so loaded he can open new product. You have to have some money to open new product these days. All right.
I just wanted to live that flipping Steve life and rip a Jim Everett auto.
Yeah. Still feeling that one. I don't think I've opened any wax since. I've picked wax up off the shelf and I've put it back. Usually Walmart has some decent retail basketball stuff, never any football.
I'm going to do something weird here. I'm going to try to enter the studio twice. Oh, there you are, Ham. Okay, cool. There we go.
He did it.
He got it. All right. He clicked the right button.
This is our way of kicking you off the show without having to tell you.
Yeah,
sorry. I've been in hurricane hell, so.
Was that a Tampa Bay Lightning hat?
No, Devil Rays.
Devil Rays hat.
Oh, Devil Rays.
My dad lives like probably 10 miles from you, Ham, and I didn't realize there was a hurricane, but he's in Switzerland. So, I mean, he's safe. I don't know about his house, but.
No, where's he at again?
He's doing like a European trip.
No, where's his house at?
Oh, he's in Land O'Lakes. So he's just north. Like
he'll be fine. He'll be fine. He's just gonna get bands of rain and a little bit of wind.
Okay. Are you South Tampa? Oh, you're more South Tampa. You're in the.
I'm in the peninsula.
Yeah, you're by the water. Okay.
Yeah, water's to the left, right, and bottom of me.
Oh Lord. Okay. All right. Well, we'll keep an eye out. Is the power stayed on and everything today?
Yeah, no, it hasn't. Our impact's going to be tomorrow, roughly around 12 o'clock to probably as late as 5. It's a very fast moving storm. The problem is when it's parallel with Tampa, it's going to be a Cat 4. So whenever it makes landfall towards Tallahassee or the Panhandle, it might be a Cat 5. So anybody up there better be out of its way.
This looks like a big one.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. We were at a few bands before I left work today. I didn't leave work till late. I've been just doing work. I'll be there all day tomorrow, just making sure the place stays together. But yeah, so it's just been a lot of nonstop.
I think it's supposed to push all the way up to I was looking like we're probably going to get dumped on with rain in Ohio on like Friday night, Saturday. Like it's supposed to push up that far depending on what direction it goes.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a Cat 2 as it enters Georgia, and then a Cat 1 as it kind of fizzles out at the top of Georgia.
Wow,
it's pretty strong for that far inland.
Exactly.
Yeah, hurricanes are always kind of a joke in Florida until they're not. Like it's like 1 out of 10 is you actually like have to go clean up and whatever. But most of the time, I lived in Florida for probably 30 years, 25 to 30 years, and it was always kind of like My uncle had a beach house on Mexico Beach, right next to Panama City Beach. He had it for 20 plus years, and he had like extra flood insurance. He was paranoid about a hurricane coming through. And they had like some near misses where like he lost the board, like the little like walkway going to the beach and stuff. And then like he was talking to me about it. Like, I think that I'm just going to let that extra insurance go. And then literally like a couple months later, the Hurricane Michael came through. It's kind of funny because like it's my uncle Steve, and then his twin brother is Michael. And it was Hurricane Michael that came through and blew his house down. But it's funny is it didn't blow it down. It just like blew out like the air conditioner. Everything underneath was gone. And then the house actually stood up fine. It was right on the water, right on the beach, but like everything inside got wet, and so it was basically just like a shell, that was wet. So it was like, forget it. But
so y'all start talking about anything before I jumped in?
No,
not really.
We touched on fantasy matchups. We touched on fantasy matchups a little bit. We didn't know if you were trying to avoid Neo because that's who you face this week, or if you're.
No, I had a very good last week, so I mean, my team's finally performing properly.
Yeah, you're a monster. And you're a huge favorite this week against me.
Yeah, but 2 weeks ago, we had our matchup. So
yeah, well, my team started off in shit show mode in week 1, and then you just took over week 2. I mean, there was nothing I could do about that. I mean, I could took the best bench player I had and replaced them. I still wouldn't have beat you.
I'm half a point. I'm a half a point from being 3-0. I'm 2-1. I'm getting no quarterback production. I've been starting Anthony Richardson. I'm winning with no quarterback production. So it's Andy Dalton this week, baby. Bringing out the red rifle.
You know what's funny is I saw some post that like Andy Dalton's the only NFL quarterback so far this year that's thrown 3 TDs and 300 yards or something. It was some weird stat.
So I noticed that this year too, that all of a sudden this league has now become a run league again, versus it was run and gun. So it's like, maybe do they not trust all these new quarterbacks anymore? Like they're not the guy that they think they could be because we're so used to the Breeze and the Mannings and
or is it just like all these defenses are built for speed, like on the back end with cornerbacks, but like they don't have any beef up front, and so like they've kind of focused their energy on getting a good secondary, and the front sevens maybe aren't as good, so teams are like, oh hell, well let's just pound the ball. But then what'll happen, of course, it'll switch back. You'll have all these teams that beef up their roster and have like giant front sevens, and then they'll go to the air. It'll turn into a passing league again.
Well, it's the schemes they're playing. A lot of teams are playing that 2 shell or that 2 high safeties.
Yeah.
And it's really taken away from a lot of the passing this year. But yeah, the running backs are hitting it again. That was always rule of thumb in fantasy, but the last couple seasons it's been like go receiver.
Yep.
And now it's like the only league that I went double receiver in is the league that I'm doing the worst in. It's the only league that I'm 1 and 2 in. But went running back in our league, Brees Hall and Etienne. So it's kind of been. Oh, I got a question to bounce off you guys. Full PPR league. I got a trade offer. Somebody offered me Brees Hall, but in return they want Garrett Wilson and Joe Mixon. So I'm kind of like,
I wouldn't do that.
Is that too much to give up for?
I think it's too much.
I feel like it's too much, but I mean, I'm not
if
getting
I'm
much.
Doing 2 for 1, you're going to have to be giving me, a dinger.
Now, see, Joe Mixon is my RB1 because I want receiver in that league. So my other receiver is Jamar Chase. So I'm rolling out Garrett Wilson and Jamar Chase in that league. So I can afford to get rid of a wide receiver 1 for a running back of that caliber. I just wish I didn't have to give up Mixon with it. Or I wish I could get a small piece in return, but he doesn't really have anything on his bench that can kind of beef up the deal on his end a little bit because his team is so hurt.
I would do that. Mixon's week to week with an ankle sprain.
Yeah, but in week 1 when he was healthy, he got 30 touches, scored over 35 fantasy points. So,
okay, buddy.
It's tough call. I see
Stooks is way ahead of the game. Cam Ward in the NCAA fantasy league. Is that a true, like, what is it, like legacy league where your NCAA players become your NFL players, or is that too much of is that too stretching a little bit too much?
Oh, I don't do the NCAA stuff.
I didn't even know there was NCAA leagues.
Yeah. It's beyond my skill level.
The old Tampa 2.
Yep.
The whole thing, though, is you got to have it's all about personnel, though. Can you pull it off? I mean, that's the other part is, do you have the personnel?
It's true.
That's where we ran into a little bit of a buzzsaw with the Eagles. The Eagles going in were the 30th ranked defense. I mean, they were like giving up huge yards, but you've got a bunch of studs on that front four that just weren't earning a paycheck. And I guess last week, they finally were like, you know what? We're going to play football this week.
Well, yeah, we play them this week. So
yeah,
the Bucks have the Eagles.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's up? Well, Rashad White's going to lose his starting job there, Ham.
No, Bucky's problem is
time.
Bucky is, I think, a better running back than Rashad, but he can't catch out of the back as well by far, and he can't block for shit. Again, he's a rookie, but he's definitely a lot smaller. And when you watch him run, he's extremely shifty and reminds me a lot of work done. Like he hits a hole and he finds just another way and he gains another 5 yards. But he's also usually coming in really fresh too. So I don't know if he could handle a full game load, to be honest with you.
He needs a Bucky sponsorship.
They're working on it already.
All right,
you can wear the beaver gold chain around his neck.
Let's shift over to a card question here because I didn't actually watch this thing, but I saw some social media stuff on it. The Sotheby's card auction last night, and I just saw kind of like pics of it and stuff. I didn't know you could actually watch it. Was it live to watch? I guess I missed that. If that was
Unless somebody ran it live, that's possible. They did something.
I watched Sue's live tweet it, but I didn't. That was as close.
Oh, she did. Okay. So what does everybody think about it? We'll start. Let's go around the horn a little bit. Neo, do you have an opinion on the Sotheby's high? That was the high-end card auction, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want high-end prices are meaningless to me. Like that's money I'm never gonna have to throw at cards. So I don't know. Like I don't have any like grand deep thoughts. I guess some of this stuff underperformed compared to previous sales, but I don't know that that's that surprising because most of the previous sales were during the peak of the market, so I don't think that's anything super crazy. It was an elite event for elite buyers, so I mean, like Robert Kraft bought a Tom Brady rookie card. Like that's the crowd that was at that place.
I think was Diddy supposed to be there, but he just couldn't make it.
I don't know. I saw Gary Vee was there. The only like normal hobby person, and that's a stretch, was Patrick Ryan was there.
Normal hobby. Oh, because of his collection.
I think he was buying. I don't know. He was selling. He was selling an Mbappe.
Is that it? Are you throwing shade at him for being normal? Or
no, I'm just saying like he's like the most of the people in that room. He was probably like the most
like a hobbyist.
True. Yeah, hobbyist.
Okay.
I meant it as a compliment, not as shade.
Got it. Okay. Steve, how many cards did you buy on the Sotheby's card auction last night?
Man, I can tell you right now, all of them. No, I didn't. I
figured there's a mystery buyer in Delaware. We got a mystery bidder in Delaware. Keeps on coming in hot.
It's supposed to remain a mystery. I didn't even know what was going on. I didn't pay attention to it.
I don't care because it's not stuff it just doesn't do anything. I mean, half those cards, it's the same cards everybody else wants. It's not, honestly, I'm getting kind of to the point now where, yeah, it's a cool big card, but it's not like it's the only one.
You're kind of
maybe one or two is graded higher. I don't care. I've never been a one I have to have a perfect card. I like my beat up rookie card. I don't care. And
what about kind of more from like a Fanatics marketing standpoint, something different where they're actually doing a live auction, type deal?
I just think at some points, I think Fanatics is trying to either control or dip their hand into every part of the market the best they can to figure out what's going to work for them. And it's kind of becoming so much now that it's becoming just very a dull sound in my head. I don't care anymore. You're not doing anything to wow me. You're not doing anything that truly benefits me. Everything benefits you. Like I'm trying to figure out what benefits me in any of this, especially anything new. And they're not offering me anything that's drawing me into where I have no choice. The rest of us, that when we're buying these boxes that are expensive, we're gambling. It's straight gambling now. It's not, even if I don't hit good, I still like these cards. I mean, with at least Marvel, you can enjoy the artwork and some of the design and stuff. But even some of that gets overplayed over and over again too. So it's like, what are you offering me new to keep me interested and or
Careful, Neo's head might explode when you said that. He was going nuts about these new Magic the Gathering Marvel cards. I saw that.
I wish that the Marvel was being built more like what's the other card game that everybody likes right now? They don't even play the game; they just like the cards.
One Piece?
Is it One Piece?
One Piece, yes. So if they were doing Marvel cards where you have even like the Pokemon, where you have the hit where it's that super sparkly, crazy looking card, and if it was designed even more like the Dragon Ball Z's are, that's a fantastic card because it's also art and it's rare and it's enticing. It's visually appealing. Where a Magic the Gathering card, to me, even if it's got a little foil in the background, is not making me jump up and down and go backwards. I love the idea. I don't know how they're going to implement it to bring the other people that don't care about the game into the collecting part of the hobby to buy.
Neil, what's your from like a Marvel card collector feedback standpoint? Have you heard from other Marvel card people that are like, "Damn, those Magic cards are like those are going to be awesome"? Have you heard like a lot of feedback on it?
It seems like people are freaking out for them early because they will have the super shiny crazy stuff. They do that. They just put it in their collector booster boxes. Like you're not going to get it out of the regular booster box.
You go, oh, I want that card.
They have like the full foil, sparkly, borderless, crazy nonsense. They just restrict it to their high-end booster boxes.
And what's funny with Marvel, even with baseball right now, I'm happy with the Marvel Tops app and the Tops Baseball Bunt app. I'm excited. I enjoy opening those cards. They actually move because I'm using AI to move the card, and it reflects in a sparkle and 3D or motion. Like you can't get that with a real card, really. So I'm happy with that, and I do spend money on those apps because I can still make money back on those if I choose to. Plus, I get extra incentives. I don't get that in real life. I only get that in the digital world. So it's just like, okay, this is where we're at now. I mean, because I don't. So the card that they did with Shohei, where you hit the 1/1 50-50 card or whatever, in Bunt, you had to buy that pack. It was not a coin-based pack. It was cash only. It was one card, and it was limited based on legendary, epic, 1/1 autograph, stuff like that. So they brought that right back into a different scenario.
Ham pulled the top shot out here.
No top shot.
Hilarious.
Top shot stupid.
The best part would be because Gary V was at that event, if they had rolled out like some sort of, I don't know, Gary V friggin' like kangaroo, happy kind kangaroo or some dumb shit that he rolled out. The bidding starts at 100,000, and everyone in the crowd like, what the hell is this garbage? And the whole thing like goes nutty. That would have been fun. Sorry, I a vision of what I would have been like awesome to see.
I try to figure out like with the Cactus Jack and even the Gary V stuff, who's really supporting this stuff monetarily? I think it's somebody else pumping the market, or they're just pumping their own shit. I don't see the desire that people are going to spend that type of money on things and realistically hold that value. I just don't see it. Not that special.
Somebody get yelled at.
Come on,
somebody
bring
in trouble.
I'm dealing with hurricanes right now. I ain't worried about no damn card.
Are your kids are like Lieutenant Dan yelling at the storm?
Well, my kid's over there yelling at her Oculus right now because she's playing Gorilla Tag.
Oh,
I've never played that before in Oculus.
Oh my God, you want to work out? Holy crap! You gotta walk you up in your arms.
Maybe I'll just make videos talking with the Oculus thing on, so I'm at least moving around a little bit more, burn some calories.
That'd be funny to watch.
All right, we've got a question about Josh Allen in the early season goings, 3-0 Bills winning the MVP.
Is this the John Williams burner account?
John Will. He's already gotten rid of all of his. Remember, who was the one guy that was every single week? It was Mahomes.
Larry, was it Larry? Something?
Larry.
His avatar was Fire Marshal Bill.
Yeah. And I remember actually, I saw him in a different live stream. This was like I hadn't seen him in our live stream or whatever for a couple of months, and he had commented on a video. Yeah, I dumped all my Mahomes cards, and I'm thinking like, this MFer was literally just Mahomes. He's the goat. He's the goat, and just sold everything out. So that tells you what hobby that's the hobby we're in, folks.
Josh Allen definitely looks like the best offensive player in the NFL right
now. That's the Shohei Ohtani that I got.
Which one is that, Ham?
This is the gold legendary. So there's 142 in the game from the tops now from the 50-50.
Now, is it a physical card?
Nope.
So it's a digital card. Okay.
If you want to grade that, you have to send your whole phone in?
Yes. Well, they're talking about doing a type of grading now in the apps where you basically send it in and it just randomly gives you a grade, and you just basically are spinning a wheel.
Dude,
So it's
we
just
were-
like sending it into a regular grading company.
So an
Yeah, correct.
off-centered. Wait, we're gonna do digital grading because all it is just literally like a little frame around your around your digital card that with a number on it.
Oh man,
Oh God! All right, guys. Well, off-centered grading. We just got into the grading space,
digital
Sorry,
grading.
good
Who
thing.
needs tag when you have digital grading?
guys. Stop BSing with physical cards. Get your digital cards graded.
Oh yeah, I see a comment from Crazy Kev talking about Sam Darnold. What's up with that?
What? Oh yeah,
Oh,
Darnold
man.
and the Vikings are 3-0. Wow.
My video that's in the making.
Uh oh.
It's just talking about when to sell cards and
Didn't you
when is
already
the
do
best
that
time to
video?
sell things like that. Well, just talking about because you always just want to take profit. That's always been my general rule of thumb. But the biggest stinger right now, and I made money, but I have left so much money on the table with Sam Darnold now because I sold before the season, but he wasn't even supposed to be the starter.
Yeah, but who knew? Like,
Well, what
I know,
about
right?
Barkley? Your Barkley too. I'm sure you could have probably sold that for more now too.
Yeah, but I did good on the Barkley because that cracked
Right.
ice, that Contenders cracked ice auto, I had that and I graded that myself. So not only did the card, I bought it before he was signed by Philly, by the way,
Yeah.
too. So not only did that card see an increase when he was signed to Philly, it also got an increase because I got it graded. So I saw good margin on that Barkley. But I was taking small percentage gains on my Darnolds just because I wasn't sure if I was going to be stuck with them, considering I was stuck with them for a year to begin with. And I had a lot of Darnolds, and I had the high end stuff like flawless RPAs, like the stuff. I didn't have any national treasures, but
Larry's moved on from Pat Mahomes to Bitcoin right here. This is Larry. Larry's back.
Bitcoin.
but it's good to see Sam Darnold doing well. I mean,
It's kind of funny. Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold is 2018 QBs that were left for dead.
You just need a little bit of time. You need some
They're left for
coaching. I
dead.
mean, a system and a good coach can just make or break your career.
The
Yep.
2018 class is on fire because you got Darnold, Baker, Allen, and Barkley is all that same class.
So is Lamar Jackson.
Yep.
Yeah,
Lamar
The
Jackson.
team's not doing that well, but he's still playing well. But
2020 class, not so much as Herbert and Burrow suck.
I know. I'm thinking about selling all my Prism blaster boxes and
Until
getting
it's
out of them
out.
while I can.
Yeah, that's going to be
out.
tomorrow's video, the 2020 class. We'll be talking about that in tomorrow's
yeah,
vid.
because Tua was in that one.
But then in 2 years, we could be like, man, look at the 2020 class. They're tearing it up.
Jalen Hurts.
You know what's crazy is I bought from Filmington a bunch of Prism, was it blasters or megas? I can't remember exactly what kind of box it was, but Prism Football 2020, because I was thinking like, man, everybody's opened this product, all the breaking that's going on. This is a good box to buy and hold because you look at it, it's like it's Tua, it's Herbert, it's Burrow, like 2020
Jefferson, yep.
It's stacked. And now you look at it and you're like,
off Filmington.
what's that?
I said you bought CT scan boxes off Filmington.
Yeah, he got me before I knew that he was using those. Yeah, he got me. But I ended up selling them. I made like $10 per box or 15 or something net, but I was just like, man, I just can't. I sold them like a year ago. It's like, I can't just sit on these because it's just too fragile, these quarterbacks. You just never know. Fanatics trying to be like Walmart, the one-stop shop. They don't care who they put out of business. And when everything it's kind of starting to get old, you need some competition. Well, yeah, I don't know. Well, the thing too is they keep on doing all these little like collaborations, like whether it be Sotheby's, they collab with PSA, they collab with, they're collabing with a bunch of different companies. So if they don't own it, they'll just be working with those companies anyway.
I'm trying to figure out how long Fanatics is going to make 2023 product for.
Yeah, it would be 2025. They're still putting out 23.
Yeah, we got to keep using Wemby, keep using Stroud, keep using them. It's rookie card. Like that.
I think
point,
Upper
you're
Deck's
just
still
playing
making
with different-
2022 hockey.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
you're
Upper
printing
Deck's
a
way
different
behind.
born on date.
Oh yeah, they're still putting out.
Did y'all
CJ
get any?
Stroud
Did y'all get
products.
any of the M&M stuff?
No,
I didn't
no.
I tried these because of the obviously trying for autographs. I didn't do bad on them. I can definitely make.
Was it like is it like a Tops Now thing where you buy the card, but you have a chance of getting an autograph? You know, like
yeah, but they only have a limited supply. It isn't printed to
to
as
demand.
purchased. Yeah, it's not built like that. There's a limit. Like the cracked ice ones are all numbered to 313 total, and they're individually numbered. They have different parallels. Same thing with the autographs. There's different parallels. I think he autographed 110 cards total.
The autos are selling for a ton of money, aren't they?
Ton of money. I mean, I saw somebody that had 110. I think they got 8,500 for it. So yeah,
like he signs a lot, so
he doesn't sign anything. And it's really his first signed card. I mean, I know he has a card like for a music card, but for like a standalone card, this is like his first card.
I mean, a lot of autographs in those gas sets have been fairly desirable.
Yeah, they have. Yep. But yeah, I just happened to catch it when it first dropped because it sold out probably 5 seconds after I completed my order because I was going to go back in and get some more. And they were like sold out. I'm like, damn.
All right, the Fever are down 1. Caitlin Clark with a minute and a half left in the game. Is that what you're doing? Okay.
So what's the score? 0-1.
Tradition like any other. I'm watching basketball on off center.
Yeah, a minute and a half left in the game, but they're eliminated, right? It's a best of 3, and they're out.
Yeah, if they lose, they're done. They were down a bunch, and they went on a 12-2 run to tie it.
Okay.
So is that the second game? How's their playoff format work?
Best of
That's
3.
the 3 in the first round. So if they
they're
lose
out.
this, they're out.
John apparently has hundreds of millions of dollars in crypto, but can't get into it. So
it's probably in the landfill too.
The Joker's going to be MVP again, according to Nugs. When did the Bills play?
I think it's SGA. I think SGA's got it unlocked this year.
SGA, okay.
It's a definition of good. When do they play somebody good? Because, I mean, a lot of the teams that are supposed to be good right now are bad, right?
Yep.
San Fran's losing. Ravens are losing.
Yeah.
If you're going by last year's schedule, then that's kind of nobody knows.
I think it's going to be one of those years where teams are all very winning in spurts, losing in spurts.
Right. But I mean,
I just think that everything has become so much more comparable than it has been in the past between teams. And the games.
But the Bills are 3-0, and they've convincingly beat teams.
Yeah.
Right.
They just have a tendency to lose when they get in the playoffs.
Right. They smoked Jacksonville. So whether or not Jacksonville is good or bad, they smoked them like they weren't even an NFL team.
Mm-hmm.
So
what's Jacksonville going to do with Trevor Lawrence? Are they going to end up just
he sucks.
canceling that?
Hey, going to Bryce Young. Him and Bryce Young are going to be sitting next to each other.
Trade him to the Giants.
Chris, that's just a baseball card channel. That's just a baseball card channel, spitballing cards. And I'm pretty sure that's recorded. That's not live.
I've never seen them do a live. They always do a pre-recorded show. So I always have to leave a paragraph or 2 comments.
Totally different. Totally different, Chris. Totally different. If you could only invest in Wemby or Caitlin Clark, who are you picking? I'd go Clark because there won't be many WNBA products. That's interesting.
I'll go Wemby because I don't think the WNBA will be around for 20 more years.
Yeah.
But and on that last comment, I mean, Chris, you can feel free to ask us about a certain player or a card if you want us to talk about it, but you can't just randomly talk about random people that nobody has interest in.
Yeah, Chris, throw us a bone, brother. We'll
freaking bonus.
Throw us a freaking bone.
This isn't some professional operation here where we have like pre-planned talking points.
Yeah, hold on.
We're going to do the roast. Were you going to set up that roast thing for tonight, or?
Oh, do we want to do how do we do that? How do we share?
I don't know.
Neo, do you know how to properly share that?
Yeah, there's nothing on there.
Not easily.
All right. Well, I can read it.
Stare me down, huh?
I didn't do one for Ham.
What?
Oh, can you run it on Ham and I'll read mine first?
I forgot.
It's not going to say anything bad about me. Come on.
Damn it.
Just read them all while I'm doing Hams.
Isn't Phil McKenna on spitballing cards?
Who?
Huh?
Phil? Yeah, he's on it.
I beat him in fantasy football this week. There you go. Win. We chalk one up for the good guys.
There you go.
I will say I watched yesterday, and it was kind of an interesting topic because it was like looking inside the hearts and minds of a baseball card collector and how they feel about Ohtani. Mm-hmm. And there is so much love for Ohtani, and you can tell that there's like, because they're basically saying like in 5 years, could his cards be less than they are now? And of course there's injury risk and that sort of thing. But basically, like all the guys on the panel were kind of like, no, not really. Like they're only like kind of like only really seeing those go up. I thought that might be a good reaction video. So you might,
that's an easy one. Well, two of them just bought a big Ohtani card together. And if you're buying a card with somebody else, if you're holding hands, then obviously it's an investment.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know that part.
Yeah, if you go back a few things, you'll see like two of the guys bought a big Ohtani card. It was like probably $15,000.
Okay. I didn't realize that. Caitlin Clark's about to lose, so I'm paying 25% comps for all of the.
We're definitely in a market of what have you done for me lately. So
I think a player's career is what have you done for me lately. Now
it's not him. Come on now, you know better.
No,
than that.
Think about it. Everything is what have you done lately now? Nothing trends the right way.
Well, Ohtani is
what have you done for me lately? You could have a great season, but if it's subpar to your previous season, people are going to look at just falling off. Look, Patrick Mahomes had the worst season of his career statistically last season. He still won a Super Bowl, and he's not passing the ball a lot this year. And what a lot of people are saying is, oh, Mahomes has lost his passing touch and things like he's fallen off a little bit, but he's not. It's just a different scheme. The team's still winning. They're winning Super Bowls. So, but his card values reflect that. So that's what I'm saying. When it comes to card values, we live in a market of what have you done for me lately, not what did you do for me last season.
I think for somebody non-established, yes. Already established, no.
Ohtani makes
Patrick Mahomes is more established than any modern player right now, though. He's got
take him out of the equation. But what are his cards doing? They're not going down.
They're not right. They're not going up though. They're not as high as they've been.
Let's take Luka for instance. What has Luka done for you lately?
Nothing.
Just went to the NBA champion. Just went to the NBA finals.
He went to the NBA finals.
The NBA finals like 3 weeks ago.
He could have a Hall of Fame career, and his cards are going to go up and down nonstop unless he wins a championship, which they won't just flatline. We live in a different market that we don't look at a career anymore because we're in the career, and now everything is such a microtransaction like a stock market that you lose fact of how good a player really is over time.
That's what I'm saying.
We've lost that.
That's what I'm saying. We don't look at the full body of work. Is what I'm saying. We look at it on a season.
We're on the same page. We're just coming at it from a different angle.
Dude,
but like Ohtani, for instance,
Ohtani just took Mike Trout's place in the hobby. That's what I feel like happened.
But next year, if he does 30, 45, is that his best season ever that we just watched, and that's all we'll ever talk about? Because if he starts pitching again and gets hurt pitching, and then they're going to he has to be a hitter. He just now lost a whole nother half a season to a season again. So it's like that damages his career and his long-term value for his cards. You can argue he's one of the best players ever. I agree. He does it both ways like nobody else realistically other than Babe Ruth maybe. But how many other players really had the opportunity to play both ways either? That's the other thing too.
I'm not a baseball guy, and this could be fake news, but I saw a meme or something that said that Ohtani just had the 11th best Barry Bonds season.
Yeah.
Even
if I saw a comparison of Bonds and Judge, Judge, outside of two things, outdid Ohtani on everything for this year.
Okay.
So, again, polarizing, bigger image.
Like what I'm saying is, I don't know what Ohtani's batting average is, but say he ends the season batting well over 3, like 280?
I think it's 280, 275, 280.
All right, well, say he ends the season batting 280 and 50 plus home runs, and he comes out next season and he bats 270 with 40 home runs. People are going to say, oh, Ohtani's fallen off.
I agree.
His best years are behind him. People are going to say that. It may not be true, but that's going to be the perception. Perception is everything right now in a hype-driven market.
Correct. That's what I was saying. We just don't take a player's career anymore. We're taking them in micro doses, and then we're looking back. Because right now, nobody's really looking back at Pujols. But if you go look at Pujols' numbers, even at certain times, he blew Barry Bonds away.
Right.
It's just like nobody makes that comparison.
He's in the 600 club. I mean,
correct. But once he hits the Hall of Fame and all 5 of them comes back out, people are like, oh shit. And then early 2000s, he's got some rare stuff in the early 2000s that's fantastic, especially with the way inserts were at that time. That even second, third year cards can be extremely valuable compared to his Bowman Chrome auto, which is weird anyway because it was a redemption. So therefore, you can't even get those, and half of those have the autographs fading off of them. So that card, if you find one in good condition, it's going to cost you a penny. But I'm going to tell you, it's going to be rare as shit in the future for one of the best hitters ever. So it's just one of those things that, you know, the last time I saw one was 2 Nationals ago. And I was so tempted. It was like $5,000. I was extremely tempted of going to find $5,000 to buy that card, knowing that I probably won't see one again.
But we even see it when people leave the league, right? Even if they leave on top. Yeah. Tom Brady, he didn't win a Super Bowl in his last season, but he pretty much left at the right time. He left on top.
Yeah, he did.
But like we said, we live in a world or in a market of what have you done for me lately? Well, he retired, right? So did his cards go up when he retired? Right. They didn't go up because he's going to be because he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, continued the GOAT, considered the GOAT, got the most Super Bowl ring. They didn't continue to go up because of his body of work.
Yep.
They went down because he hasn't done anything for us lately.
Correct.
I'm behind on the comments. I know
I see you going through, and I'm just kind of reading them with you because I know I missed a bunch too.
Yeah, there's questions.
I posted Ham's thing in the private chat, Dustin.
Oh, private chat, is that good, huh?
Oh, all right. Well, this is okay. So what we were talking about here.
Funny, I'm not gonna lie.
All right, I'm gonna read. Well, actually, let me read mine first. Ham, you can read your own.
I'm reading
it.
Can you copy and paste them and put them in the chat?
Yeah. Can you do that?
They're probably too long.
All right.
I don't think mine's that long. I know the one Dustin had sent earlier.
Dustin and mine's.
I'm going to try.
Yeah, ChatGPT did they did a number on us. Hold on a second. So
credit Simon 466 for
credit to Simon.
I'm going to try to paste Michael Hams in there.
All right.
There's Michael Hams. Can you guys see it?
Where we got this idea?
No.
Simon 466 Cards did this on himself YouTube channel. So check out Simon's channel, Simon 466 Cards.
Split it in like 4 comments. That looks like crap.
Oh, yeah, it did. Split it into 4 comments, but they're all together. At least people can.
Yeah, it's all together. Yeah, it's funny. That is funny.
The whole point was for Dustin to read them.
Yeah, what are we doing?
You're just spoiling it.
Yeah, you got to narrate them, but you got to do it in Morgan Freeman voice.
Go ahead, read them.
All right, you just took all the pizzazz out of it because now it's all spoiled.
No,
they're not reading.
You just walked out of the Sixth Sense and told everyone I'm live.
You think they're reading that? You're crazy.
They're watching this on their TV. It's going by too fast.
All right. I'll read mine. Everybody quiet down. All right. So this is when we asked ChatGPT to roast my channel, this is what it said back. Oh, sports card dad, huh? So you're basically the suburban dad equivalent of Gary Vee, but instead of flipping sneakers, you're out here flipping cardboard. What's the channel slogan? Teaching you how to invest in your kid's college fund, one overpriced Luka Doncic card at a time. Let me guess. Every video is some deep dive on how to lose money on a Zion Williamson rookie card faster than he loses a shoe during a game. The thing that's crazy is in one of my videos recently, I did mention that. And so I'm thinking run through the transcript. Anyway, and then we can talk about the name Sports Card Dad, because nothing says hip and with it like proudly announcing you've given up on ever being cool again. But hey, it's not like mom wanted the garage for her car. No, it's filled to the brim with top loaders and binders as far as the eye can see. I bet your thumbnails are either extreme close-ups of your face, AI's pretty smart, or cards like your viewers can't tell the difference between a PSA 10 and your midlife crisis. I mentioned that a lot. Unless you shove it right up in the lens. Do you keep the dad jokes to a minimum, or is it a pack opening every time you crack one? But seriously, your audience is probably the only group of people who will understand the thrill of staring at stats and cardboard while your kids slowly lose respect for them. Keep that balance going. Cards in one hand, juice box in the other. Let me know if any of this hits close to home. GPT. It's actually pretty good.
Some of the stuff was accurate.
Yeah, I mean, it was not bad for AI. That's pretty new. Like AI is a fairly new phenomenon, but it's pretty strong. All right, Ham, do you want to read yours?
No, I don't want to read.
All right.
Yeah, you're supposed to do the dramatic readings, Dustin.
Oh, I'll do it. Okay, hold on. Let me go to the private chat.
I want you to do it in Morgan Freeman's voice.
Doing Hams.
All right. Michael Ham, Fishing and Sports Card Hobbyist, the only channel where the excitement of waiting for a fish to bite competes with the thrill of waiting for a card to appreciate in value. Are you fishing for compliments or just trying to reel in some views? Your content is a perfect blend of patience and nostalgia, just like watching paint dry while reminiscing about your childhood. Keep casting those lines, Michael. Maybe one day You'll catch something that doesn't need a price tag to be interesting.
Nice.
That's actually not bad.
That's
I mean,
not bad at all.
All right, Neo. Do you
I
want
mean,
to read yours?
that's like a bar in a rap song.
Oh, I'm going to read Neo's. Okay, hold on. Let me get back to you.
It's in the Discord.
Okay, yeah.
I don't have it anymore. I don't because I closed the tab. So
okay, 1 sec.
I didn't see Neo's.
All right, here we go.
mine's pretty good too. I think Dustin's might be the best, but
Neo cards and comics, because why settle for just one niche when you can fail at two? Cards and comics. What's next? Funko Pops? Maybe add in stamp collecting and bird watching for that complete I don't leave my basement trifecta. It's good.
I'm literally in my basement.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy. Not you in the basement, but just how it knows all these things.
Whatever.
Your channel's name screams, I'm stuck in the Matrix, but it's a flea market booth. Are you offering cutting edge commentary, or is it just you flexing your collection like the 90s never ended? Let me guess. The editing quality is about as sharp as a PSA 7. And let's talk about the content. Do you hit us with a kind of dynamic energy that only a person who spends 8 hours sleeving cards can muster? You know, the monotone voice that makes unboxing sound like an IRS audit? But hey, your viewers probably need that soothing ASMR to lull them into forgetting the $1.99 they just wasted on packs of comments. On a more serious note, though, I bet you have great insights for collectors if they manage to find them between all the nostalgic dad jokes and awkward pauses. That's Neo's.
It tailed off a little bit on the end. It was pretty good in the beginning.
It kind of got nice. It got kind of nice up at the end there.
ChatGPT.
All right. Do we have Steve's? Am I reading Steve's too?
You had texted mine, I believe.
Okay.
Steve wasn't that great.
Yeah,
it's because it talks a lot about flipping. It doesn't even seem like it knows about sports cards at all. So I'm surprised
probably because you don't have sports cards in your channel name.
Right. It could have been about gymnastics, right?
Stop making content.
Yeah, this is where it didn't really know where to go with it. So
I know I tricked it. I'm smarter than AI.
That was the weakest one.
Than AI, boys.
All right, cool. Let me get back to the comments here. I'm a little behind. 929. Yeah, I'm way behind here.
And you can catch up. Speed read.
I was shocked to see Dalton was still in the league. I know he was with the Saints and he went to the Panthers.
He was with the Panthers last year because he
brought
him in at the end of the season, and he actually played fairly well last year. Yeah,
Malik Willis taking over the league. Jordan Love, they're probably like, we just signed. It's funny. Tua got $1 billion. Trevor Lawrence got $1 billion. Jordan Love got $1 billion. And all these guys kind of look replaceable for the most part. Deshaun Watson got $1 billion. Sorry, Neo. But I mean, like, I don't know, man.
I tried to ask ChatGPT, can you roast Jeff Wilson, sports card investor? And it said this content might violate our usage policy. And it wouldn't worry.
Damn. It found all sorts of crazy to get it to like
do SCR. See what that one looks like.
Yeah, roast sports card radio, and let's see what it comes back with. That's quarter, but yeah, I agree with this. Once I get paid, man, yeah, I like all four of the guys on Spitball, and we were just kind of playing around with the Ohtani talk. I mean, they're all really smart baseball guys, so it's a good.
All four? Do you mean all five? Because there's 5 people on Spitball.
There's 5?
Yes,
technically, yeah.
They rotate through.
Yeah, the 5 guys there know baseball really well. The Ellen DeGeneres hair for Burrow. That's what's screwing him up, man. That's what's screwing him up.
Oh God, this is already going to be good. I got it to take one of the Jeff Wilson ones. Jeff, we mean no harm by this. This is all ChatGPT.
Oh, no.
I didn't even read this. Oh, it didn't take the whole thing.
You got
disregard that one.
You got to read it.
1 second.
You got to read it. You found it. You got to read it.
Neo, I picked up a card.
A dramatic reader.
Neo, I picked up a card that you might like. Maybe. Alan Ginter auto of Brian Windhorst.
Oh, that's cool.
I know he used to do Cleveland and stuff, right? Used to be a sports writer.
I'm going to send this to you on Instagram because it's being weird in the chat.
For the Cavs.
Yeah, Otani, man, they moved on really quickly from the story, from the betting story, the betting guy, the agent, the
Oh
translator.
yeah, they didn't stick around very long, did it?
The MLB was like, nothing to see here. Let's keep it moving.
We'll have a movie. We'll have a movie on it in 15 years.
Yeah, yeah.
Brad says, "What are we looking forward to, sports card show wise, this winter?" Well, I'm looking forward to the Ocean City show, and Brad, I'll probably see there. There's an Ocean City show coming up, I think, on October 5th. It's a small local show, probably maybe 50 tables or so, but going to be the first thing that I've actually gotten out to since the National. Yeah, so I'm excited for that because I haven't done much since the National. I've just kind of been coasting through the summer.
Man, this Jeff Wilson one is.
They roast him up. They cook him up.
Here, I DM'd you, Dustin.
But I made a nice sale on some football cards yesterday that I've been holding, and now I'm pretty much off the slate for any of the quarterbacks that I had bought to resell. And at the end of the day, they all ended up working out. So I was kind of sort of 4 for 4.
So, Steve, did you happen to see the Eddie Vedder autograph card that was on eBay?
I did not.
It was of him, the same card I gave you pitching for the Cubs.
Mm-hmm.
Graded.
Now, is it pack pulled or is it just kind of an authenticated?
No. It was just an auto. Then a PSA graded it.
With my music, rock and roll stars and stuff like that, I like to collect their cards. But if I was going to invest in a signature, I'd probably want it on a piece of music memorabilia or something. Kind of like how Dustin's been doing with his guitars and things. I'd really like to have it on like a cool item though that was worn by the artist or something like that.
Yeah, I get that 100%. I hadn't seen one ever pop up, and it was just interesting to see what it went for.
Did you get that, Dustin?
Yeah.
Did you read it?
Yeah, we'll skip that.
What? I'll read it on my channel.
Oh
I
man,
posted it on Twitter and tagged them. You could read it.
Put it in our football chat.
It's ChatGPT. It's not us.
Yeah, I mean, all we're doing is just it's for funsies. If not, send it to SCR. They'll pay it.
Jeff understands.
He's not here. If Jeff was on the live, then it would be like, fine, let's all read.
That doesn't matter.
He was here a couple weeks ago and you didn't show up.
Yeah,
So
he
said he was never coming back.
I posted it on Twitter and tagged him. So
I haven't heard back from him. I texted him Falcons week this morning, and he's so locked in that he didn't text me back. So maybe we're on the outs.
I can't believe he's 3-0, man. Somebody's got to beat him.
You knew you were about to roast him with this ChatGTP thing.
I got to bring
I'll
up.
beat him if
That's
you
what
guys
you need
can.
to do. You got to change it up.
I got to put this on IG.
Sullivan Sports looking to buy Sam Darnold. Man, it might be the wrong time to buy Sammy D right now.
I wouldn't touch the Sammy D right now.
Oh, man, I had you on some good Sam Darnolds about 4 months ago, 5 months ago.
Where the hell does this card go? Do.
How's Dingus doing, Steve? We have a Dingus comment here. What's
She's doing good. I was going to call her up here so that everybody could see her because I haven't done a video in a while. But I have content to put into a video right now. So, because I made a sale yesterday and I've also picked up a couple cards. So this stuff's adding up. You know, it's hard to do content when I'm not doing a whole lot within the hobby. So I can't just come on and bore everybody to death with sitting around a bonfire. Last night, I chilled in my hot tub for the first time this season because it's starting to cool off a little bit.
Yeah.
Had a bonfire because I've finished. So that's another thing that I was working on. You guys saw that though. Kind of the step-by-step process of me putting that whole area, the fence.
Yeah. It looks good.
16 by 16 fire pit. Well, the fire pit itself is 4 by 4, but it's got a 16 by 16 sandy beach around it. And then I got another fence around that. Now the fence is like a 30 by 30 foot. And then I just got all the landscaping done. So I got all kinds of bushes and stuff around. So it's kind of private now. It was a small project that turned into, it just kept growing. But at the end of the day, it's really sweet. I like to hang out there. It's cool. And it adds to my property value and stuff. So
Brad, are you telling me
just come over and party?
So I'm assuming this is the Will Levis PSA 10 silver prism that you won for the for the giveaway. This was a second place.
Is that what he got?
And Brad tried to sell it. I thought that was a coughing card, Brad. And now it's, I guess what he's saying is, I think he tried to sell it. It didn't get paid. And now it's down $90. I might go to the Orlando show in November. It just kind of depends on how things shake out over the next couple of months. There's just so much. We have a lot going on here at home, but
this time of year is when everything starts happening for everybody. So it's a busy time of year, October, November, December.
It's brutal. My kid, like my younger kids, my daughter plays volleyball. My son plays flag football. And then we've got all the, all the life stuff. Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, I still plan on going to the Fanatic show. I mean, we have a show at the Convention Center that's a Sunday only show. We have a show at the Fairgrounds that's a 2-day show, and then I have all the normal 3 times a month shows as well.
Geez, Jim in Florida just roasted us at 9:52.
Oh, let me get to it.
We don't need to ask ChatGPT about off-center.
Welcome to Wednesday Night Live. Give it up for our host, Dustin, who's got more enthusiasm than actual talent. Neo, who's just here to pretend he knows everything, and Flippin' Steve, who flips. But you left out Ham. What about Ham?
There's nothing bad to say
There's
about
the second part to this comment.
We move on, people.
Was it down below?
Steve, who flips cards like I flip through Netflix, just searching for something good.
Oh, man.
Hey, that's okay. Hey, that's good, right? When flipping cards, if I'm going through them, that's a positive. But
hey, for considering all the replays and stuff we get, it's actually, I mean, considering there's a lot of stuff on TV to watch, I think we do pretty good.
I added a big vintage card to my collection at the National that I never showed because I didn't show that card in my final national video. I was saving it for a separate video altogether and never showed it or anything. So there was another nice pickup from the National that went into my collection. It's not all just flipping.
Well, there's a video right there for you, Steve.
I know.
He doesn't make videos anymore.
Jim, you forgot Dustin, who's got enthusiasm and handsomeness. You forgot that part. You forgot to mix that in. There was a question down here. What are Brad? I think Brad was kind of asking on the back of the Will Levis Silver Prism not working out. Do you guys think any of this year's rookies are going to be worth getting? I guess across all sports.
Jaden Daniels based off Monday night's game.
Yeah. RG3 Part 2, Jaden Daniels.
I just think he's going to get hurt.
No, he's good. But yeah, it is, God, it's like how many of these guys have had good starts? And then I watched highlights of Carson Wentz with the Eagles leading, like basically before he got hurt when they won the Super Bowl. And that dude was lights out. Like I can't imagine like in today's world, what was that, 2017?
Yep.
I think when they won the Super Bowl. I mean, like Carson Wentz cards would be going ballistic. The first few weeks of the season, he was lighting it up. And then he got hurt. He was having an MVP type year. And then he got hurt and was never really the same after. So
just go after whatever one flames out. And then in 4 years, they'll make a resurgent comeback like Darnold and Baker.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So wait like 2 years to buy Caleb Williams. And when he's on his third team, invest.
Not just, Justin Fields. The thing is that when somebody has a lot of draft capital spent on them, meaning they're an early first-round pick, it's going to take a little while before the entire NFL gives up on them. Their initial team that drafted them might give up on them because they're coming into a contract extension and haven't shown anything to the team worth keeping them. Then they go somewhere else, and maybe they get a better head coach. Maybe sometimes they fall into a worse situation. It just doesn't work. But, when there's, like I said, though, but when a lot of draft capital is invested in a player, they're going to get chances. They're going to get multiple chances, whether it's a backup and then they get a chance to start like Darnold, or rather there's another head coach that was like, I really wanted to draft that guy, but we didn't have an opportunity to. I think he can come to my team and I can work with him. It could be something like that. So I think Darnold going to the Shanahan system last year really did a lot for him. And going to Minnesota, that's a good offensive system as well. But he got to work with Shanahan last year as a backup. And that's when I bought a lot of his cards, because Shanahan produces good quarterbacks out there in San Francisco. He's a good coach when it comes to that.
It's too bad Trey Lance didn't get more time out with him.
Right. Well, again, he's one of those guys, again, that fits the bill of he was given up on by his original team because of his contract. But due to the fact that he was such an early draft pick, he didn't go away, right? Dallas picked him up because, oh, this guy's a second, third pick of the draft, whatever he was. He may still have some potential. So if he was like a 7th round pick or a 5th round pick or somebody that wasn't highly touted coming out of college, he probably would have been cut by the 49ers and nobody would have even like give him a second look.
Yeah, Trey Lance is interesting though, because outside of Prescott getting hurt, is he ever going to get to play? I mean,
right. Well, that's
like
the thing.
in the next 5 years.
That's the thing with Darnold have gotten to play this year if it wasn't for the McCarthy, is that his name? JJ McCarthy injury.
Mm-hmm.
Because they drafted him, probably be the future of their franchise. But if Darnold continues to play well and win, even if McCarthy comes back healthy next year, you have a quarterback controversy. Now, you have your first round pick from this season, and you have a free agent that you signed that came in with the team and actually excelled, lived up to his draft hype. But we're only 3 games in. You have no idea what's going to happen with Sam Darnold throughout the rest of the season either.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have 2 starting quarterbacks on your team.
Yeah, it's great
if you can get rid of one, I guess.
Because
as long as you don't have your locker room.
Look at me as a converted Chiefs fan. When I used to cheer for the Dolphins, I used to be like, their front office is terrible, and Miami's front office is terrible. They should have known. Tua is a talented enough quarterback to get the job done when he's on the field, but they also know that he's a liability. They should have known he was a liability. They should have took that into account and been like, okay, we're going to sign a veteran backup because our offense right now is built to win. We have guys under contract that aren't going to be under contract forever. If Tua goes down, we need to have a contingency plan. And they didn't. They had another unproven quarterback that last season was our 3rd stringer because he was beat out by Mike White for the backup job. So they get rid of Mike White and they keep the cheaper. Okay, I get it for salary cap reasons. They kept the cheaper option, which was Skylar Thompson. They didn't keep Skylar Thompson because he outplayed Mike White. They kept him because he was cheaper, and they just put all of their eggs into one basket. And I get it. If this was a quarterback in Tua that was somebody who is durable and is shown to be durable, then, okay, you roll with him, you gamble on that. But when you know that this guy is a liability, you have to have a backup plan. And that's just the Miami Dolphins front office failing the team and failing their fans again. So,
do they try to trade for a quarterback this year?
No, they didn't even do anything. So Tannehill's out there on the free agent wire, right? I know Tannehill's not always been a great quarterback, but he's led Titans into the playoffs. You don't have to be a superstar quarterback to excel in this Miami Dolphins system.
Do you go and try and trade for Russell Wilson?
I mean, we could have. I mean, one of the rumors was we wanted to go after Jimmy Garoppolo. He's like 3rd string on the Rams, but he's in some sort of suspension or something right now. Mac Jones was another question. Now, Mac Jones has flashed. He's also been very inconsistent. Then again, was he a product of a poor Patriots system? So, I don't know. I just feel like there should have been a better backup plan than Skylar Thompson, because even if we right this ship within 2 to 3 weeks, or if Tua comes back by week 7, if we lose these games, it doesn't matter. If we lose the next 4 games, why even bring Tua back, even if he's ready to come back? Why risk?
I don't even know if he could play football anymore.
That's what I'm saying. Well, he refuses to retire. If the NFL concussion protocol is there for a reason, and if you pass the NFL concussion protocol, you're supposed to have the right to play. Do I necessarily agree with the ethics behind that? I don't. I see a neurologist every year. I suffer from having epilepsy. At least I did through my high school years. And, I've had these seizures where I've passed out and locked up, and my family has seen it and told me about it. When my wife saw the Tua 2 years ago, when he locked up on the field, she broke down, and I'm like, what's wrong? What's wrong? And it was because it was flashbacks of her seeing that happen to me. So, so the head trauma and things like that, I get. I honestly don't want to see him play.
I agree.
I just don't. Not because I don't think he is talented enough to play, but because it's not worth the risk. And even being a Miami Dolphins fan, I would rather lose the rest of our games. I would rather eat that contract and rebuild than to see him come back and really, really, really suffer something bad. But he's a competitor, and it's hard to tell a competitor no, right?
Yep.
Unless the NFL
You're
is
gonna
just
start
the
wearing
team
that
just steps
helmet
in
where
and
it's
says
got the
no, and you
puffy
can't
stuff on the
play.
outside. Because they can wear
Yeah.
those guards right on their head.
Yeah, what are they called? The Guardian cap or something?
Yeah, I mean, he better come back with that damn thing on at least.
All right. I've got an idea. Let's play a game.
Let's go.
Are you ready for let's play a game?
Interesting.
All right. So we all have unlimited funds,
Thank you.
but we can only pick one player that we're going to buy into. And the idea is because we want to hold it long term. And maybe we're going to spend $10 million on this one player. Just throw out a number, $1 million or whatever it is. It can only be an active player.
Okay.
But it can be an aging veteran. It can be LeBron, or it could be Wemby. Who would you choose? You can only pick one player.
Fine, long
You're
term.
going to get like long term, like 20 years. Let's say you're going to hold it for 20 years, and then
It's so hard.
When you hit Social Security at 63, you're going to dump and go on you're going to sell all your cards and go on a.
Yeah, I mean,
to
mine's
Mars.
easy. I'll take LeBron. Like,
all right,
not
so
even
because Neo's a LeBron collector, so that makes sense. I'm going to go kind of in a weird. It's got to be, and it's an active player.
LeBron's also safe too. His career is defined.
I don't know. He's been to a lot of P Diddy parties, buddy. Not safe no more.
So I'm gonna go kind of along the same lines, but I'm gonna go Steph Curry. And I like LeBron, but I like Curry better than LeBron. And I think Curry's just got like I don't know. There's
worse NBA players, sure.
What's that?
I said if you like worse NBA players, sure.
Steph Curry?
Than LeBron? Yeah.
Well, no, I'm not saying that Curry's better than LeBron. I'm just saying if I'm gonna hold the cards, I want to enjoy the cards. I'm just not a LeBron guy. I mean, you're a Cleveland guy, so it makes sense.
I think Curry is more likable, meaning LeBron's a little bit more of a polarizing player.
And I also think Curry's impacted basketball. Everybody's now a 3-point shooter. I don't know. Like, he's the best shooter ever. He's always going to be popular in the Bay Area. I'm a Curry guy, but I'm not saying Curry is better than LeBron. I'm not. I'm just saying I would, if I'm holding $1 million of cards, I want to enjoy those cards. And frankly, I would just like Curry over LeBron. All right. Ham, who's yours? Now, this could be like Ohtani. You know, it doesn't have to be like an aging vet.
No, I'd probably do Mahomes.
Mahomes. Okay. So why, like, you think you would, like, if you had $1 million of Mahomes, you'd enjoy those cards, not just because of the value, but
I mean, I just, he's a winner. He's already won multiple Super Bowls. He's on his way to, let's say he plays for another 15 years. What are the odds of him not winning a Super Bowl at this point? Because he can make teams better around him. And when you have a player that makes teams better around that player, they're a superstar. And I want that superstar. This is the heir apparent to Tom Brady. I'd rather invest in him right now.
Yeah, he's the only threat to Tom Brady's GOAT status. He's the only one even on the radar. If you take Mahomes off the map, you know, no one's touching him. All right, Steve, you're up.
I like Ham's call too. I know it's kind of the boring one, but Mahomes only because he's safe with upside. There's not a lot of players right now that you can say are safe. Like if they retired today, their legacy is already concreted. But they still have upside to really increase on that legacy. Like if Mahomes retired today, he's the best quarterback of his generation, and he is a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
However, he's still, though, by timeline coming into the prime of his career.
He's 28.
He has so much time to do so much more, but he's already done so much. Like Curry has done so much, but he's kind of coming to the twilight of his career. He's the type of player that you're kind of gotten what you're going to get out of him. But so Mahomes, I think, is the risk is that safe with upside. Now, if I was really going to go different, and it's tough right now because you never want to buy kind of at the top, but I wouldn't mind. And $1 million is a lot to put towards this player, but I wouldn't mind some Caitlin Clark cards.
That's cool. Yeah, I totally get it, man. I was thinking about that too. I was thinking about, and being that she just got, bumped off, if she gets a drop, I mean, I don't know. I might grab some of the Prism stuff. I think her Prism stuff is going to be really pricey, though. I don't think there's going to be any sort of big drop off on that.
Mm-mm.
I don't see it.
I think none of us took a baseball player. I think the only baseball player I would even consider would be Ohtani.
Why
For
not
a
Judge?
player.
Why not Judge?
Judge is kind of old. Well, I guess Ohtani is too. I think Ohtani has the pitching side of it, uniqueness, and also the international appeal.
Mm-hmm. I just feel like he'll have less longevity.
I think Judge is just gonna be like all the Yankees fans love him. I don't know if he'll transcend.
That sells.
Him.
And
Yeah,
you know, if I knew more about soccer, or if I was choosing an Mbappe or a Haaland, you know, those markets for big cards, they got big buyers. Like those things don't go down either. I mean, that market is really strong. They have very rare stuff you can go and get, especially I like Dynasty and stuff like that. That just sell. And
All right.
people want them. They're rare.
Same question, but only a retired player. So you can only pick a retired GOAT or whatever.
Too easy.
I mean, it's Jordan. It's not even.
Jordan.
It's not even.
Oh, no, but also think about, okay, so the other part
there's no other think about.
There's nothing else to think about. It's Jordan.
Actually,
But you also got to think of what you can get for the
I'm going
money.
to go a
because-
different way. I'm going to go a different way though with it because I think also kind of considering upside, and this is going to be semi-controversial, maybe. Jordan
already pumped and dumped the star Jordan, so he needs to move on to the next thing.
No. The Jordan is kind of it's a very obvious choice. I get it. I think that Jordan has upside. I think that I would probably go. It's actually tough, but it would definitely be a baseball player because if you look at, it would probably be Babe Ruth.
Mhm.
Because if I'm looking at just pricing on Babe Ruth stuff versus 90s, the random Jordan 90s inserts right now, I could probably get a lot more Babe Ruth cards. You know, I mean, I'll probably go Babe Ruth, even though I love all the Jordan stuff. I love it and I totally get it. But just based on how much Jordan has risen and upside potential, I would say Babe Ruth here.
Yeah, I'm seeing some of the comments, and I was already thinking this before I seen some of the comments. It's hard to. There's two in baseball that I really think will always forever be significant. Of course, one is Babe Ruth, and that's because we never got to see Babe Ruth play. You just heard stories. It's almost like he's a fictional character.
Yeah.
It's almost like he's this character that was so good and so larger than life, like he's like a tall tale, like he was made up in a storybook, but he actually was a legit person that played baseball. But it almost feels like he's like and then the other one, of course, is Jackie Robinson, because there'll always be the history that'll never go away, and that's something that people talk about every year to the date, and that is something that will always transcend the history behind Jackie Robinson. So those two to me are like easy no-brainers, because
Pump Dump in chat says I'll just buy a bunch of Star 101s.
Pump Dump set up his account today for this live stream.
But when you're looking at a certain amount of money to spend, you're also going to be in a situation where, depending on the player that you buy, you're going to be able to get more of player A as opposed to player B, just depending on price point, right?
And what type of cards are available for that person.
Right.
So, all right, let's twist Dustin's question this way. Same thing, but a player that has not won a title. Active player that has not won a title.
Oh, it's getting juicy. Okay. All right.
To me, it's easy.
You guys, I know everyone's going to say Derek Carr. But before you say Derek Carr, let's think about some other players. All right. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. Barry Bonds.
No, active player.
Active player,
Active player.
Well, then it's Mike Trout.
Oh, I wouldn't bet that. He sucks.
Well, wouldn't we say Ohtani?
I can buy him really cheap right now. He's still a Hall of Famer. He's still the best player of his generation.
But Ohtani hasn't won one yet, right?
No, he's never even.
No, I guess Ohtani would be a loophole here too.
Yeah, Ohtani would be the pick, but well, let's think of something that's maybe not as obvious as that.
Well, I'm assuming the Dodgers are going to win a World Series this year, so kind of canceling that out.
So you said never won a title. Do they have to be active player though?
Yeah, active player that has
Okay.
not won a title.
Because that's easy. My favorite player of all time never won a title. I could buy a million
Yeah,
damn
yeah,
Reno
yeah.
cards.
Active.
But,
active is the key word.
active.
Um,
Caitlin Clark.
That's true.
I would say Caitlin Clark too. That's a good call. Who would have thought a year ago the answer would be, a WNBA?
Right. And John had a comment going back here where he says, let's see, he hates all the Caitlin Clark WNBA hype. It needs to go away back to how it was.
Vintage card collector says McDavid. That's actually pretty good too.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
But here's the thing,
yeah.
John. It's no longer Caitlin. It's no longer Caitlin Clark hype. It's a reality.
Yeah, she's just good.
Right. It's a reality. Everything that has come along, like, people saying attendance is going to go up, viewership is going to go up, they're going to sell more merchandise. I mean, that was all the hype coming in. That was all the if, ands, or buts. The fact is it all came to fruition, right? So it's no longer hype when it actually happens. Now, could it cool off a little bit because it is the flavor of the week? Maybe. But nobody knows.
All right, retired player that never won a title. That's not Dan Marino, Steve.
Yeah, I can't. What's that? Oh, yeah. Well, I said Dan Marino, but Leo said they couldn't be retired.
Yeah, so this one's retired. This would have to be Bonds, right?
Yeah, Bonds is a pretty.
He's up there.
You could use Trout for this one in like 2 years.
Yeah, like in 20 minutes.
Hey, listen, he's changing his mind about playing center field now, and at some point he'll probably play first base. I think he just needs to stop running around.
This would be fun, actually. $1 million of Barry Sanders cards would be wicked. I mean, you could have
You just have to start going to late 90s, 2000 inserts.
There's an easy answer here. It's Griffey.
Oh, and Griffey's an option. I would still rather have Bonds.
I'd rather have Griffey than Bonds.
I know, and I know a lot of people like Griffey over Bonds, but I want the villain. I want Darth Vader of baseball.
Yeah,
I want Bonds.
I just feel like Griffey's already really, really, really popular, kind of like Jordan.
Yeah, and that's not going to – I don't see that changing.
So, that's what I'm saying, but I don't see it changing either way, right? I see it holding strong, but I don't know how much is left as far as, if you're looking to buy for investment. Now, if you're looking to buy because you want to have fun and you like Griffey, that's a whole nother discussion. So we kind of never really said why, but because like with me, with Marino cards are going up.
I know there's a ton of the thing is, there's a lot of Bonds rookies too, as well as Griffey's. But Bonds' rarest rookie cards that are PSA 10s outsell Griffey's.
Maybe because they're
Just
harder. Like the
time.
Topps Tiffany's or the
Oh, there's a lot of 87 tops. I mean, it's not.
Yeah, but I bet you the PSA 10 pops probably.
It's harder to grade those cards with Bonds because of the black borders. You're talking about Topps traded and stuff like that.
I mean, I like Bonds. I would just prefer.
If you go look at a Tiffany Topps traded Barry Bonds PSA 10 versus the Griffey equivalent PSA 10 Tiffany, the Bonds outsells it by a ridiculous amount of money. It's because it's harder to grade.
That's some interesting upside if he ever gets the
correct
stuff taken.
Well, then the people that are buying that card watched him play and realized how good he was to the point like you just couldn't pitch to the man. And if you did, you're going to get screwed. It was just ridiculous to watch that. Just like Sosa, McGuire don't get the love they get. When they had that season, everybody was watching baseball. Everybody. And that's when baseball was getting ready to die and go away, probably. Those two guys resurrected the entire sport.
Yeah. Well, vintage card collector.
Nobody was even looking at Bonds that year. He had a great season, too.
Bonds and Griffey, it's about the 90s inserts more so than the rookie cards.
Yeah.
Correct. But
because there's no rarity to the rookies.
Bonds' Tiffany, Tiffany PSA 10
credentials.
Yeah, but what makes that card rare, Ham? What makes that card
how hard it is to grade
is the grade, not the card itself. So some of these inserts actually
that's how grading works,
right? But some of these inserts have a
grade that they're worth more.
But if you're collecting, how many rookie cards do you need?
Today,
a lot of people just find with a PSA 9.
It's harder to find some of these inserts if we're just talking, especially just raw cards, right?
I completely agree, but that card will still outsell the inserts.
Yeah, Bonds. But also Bonds has a pretty mature card. I've looked into Bonds and I was thinking, man, everyone's going Griffey. I'm going to zag on Barry Bonds, and this was going back a year ago.
Bonds isn't cheap.
This was a while ago too. This is not recent. I mean, this is going back a year or two ago, and they were just as expensive. They were.
Yeah, there's no zag.
There was
there's still a strong following for bonds. Yeah, I think with bonds,
yeah.
I think with bonds, it's kind of like there's not many people are kind of like in between, right? You either are behind bonds and you don't care about the steroids and things like that, or you're 100%.
Everybody I know. The only people that aren't into that are the people voting for the whole.
Well, what I'm saying is, I think there's two sides on two sides. To the fence. I don't think there's a lot of people on the fence. I think a lot of people are like, I love bonds. And there's a lot of people like, no, he's a cheater. I don't think there's a lot of people that are kind of like, well, yeah. So when you get a diehard fan base like that, almost like a cult following, and you're popular and good, in their mind, you never cheated, it's going to still draw enough market.
Nolan Ryan for the $1 million of cards. It'd be cool too. I mean, you'd have a pretty wicked Nolan Ryan collection because this stuff is pretty affordable. A lot of it.
I mean, I really think there's lots of players you can't go wrong with. Like, I would even be interested in buying Tiger Woods stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, shift of gears here, Grim 77. So we're going to non-CT scanned cases of products. If you had to spend $1 million on clean product that has not been CT scanned yet, what particular set would it be? The cases have to be something that is currently purchasable. What is that?
I mean, I guess
like you can't just find one box of it and then there's nothing in existence afterwards.
Yeah, like you can say,
I want to buy a case of
52 tops.
Right, that's what I was going to say, Neo. No 52 tops baseball, right? It's got to be somewhat
to exist.
Okay, got it. All right, who wants
like 87?
You couldn't even get a box of 52 tops for $1 million.
It's got to be first edition Pokemon, right?
That's actually not a bad one.
Yeah, if you could
guarantee
it wasn't CT scan, that's you couldn't get that for.
I probably want that CT scan.
What's a box of that go for?
Yeah, given the Pokemon cards.
Sure, you might actually want to have that scan.
I would probably
want a case. I'd want a factory load of GI Joe sealed wax.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I don't know about that I know has value, like Magic the Gathering and other things like that, where the first stuff of that is crazy valuable.
Like an alpha or beta box.
Yeah, I just don't know enough.
Well, like, what would I don't even know what a case would look like. Like for like early exquisite basketball, the ones like that have the LeBron RPAs where you can still put Jordans,
more than $1 million,
Kobe's, stuff like that.
Yeah, well, I guess what would you rather have? $1 million of what? That gets you one case versus another product where you can get 100.
I guess let's twist this a little bit. To go back to the same premise of a question, what about for a non-sports card? Well, you had $1 million to throw at non-sports cards.
I mean, I think it would probably have to be Pokemon.
Would just be Charizard.
Yeah,
is that too boring?
If it's for like just money upside, like, hey, we're just holding this, then yeah, it probably is. It probably is Pokemon something. It's probably Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean, because think of anything pre-Pokemon, what would you have other than Magic?
What I was trying to think of when you said that, Neil, I was trying to think of like, okay, 2008 Rittenhouse.
I mean, vintage Magic. I mean, like Power. I would go for Power 9 personally because I like Magic more than Pokemon.
All right, let's switch it again. You're actually going to open it though, so you're going to chase something. So
no, I'm talking. I was twisting it to singles, not necessarily.
Now, RPAs.
You could go the 2013 Fleer Retro Marvel stuff, with the PMGs. Although I guess a lot of that stuff's already.
A lot of that stuff's been pulled already.
Yeah, because it was open when it was $100 a box or whatever it was.
I would want to rip beta boxes. I don't know what a beta booster box goes for.
For Magic?
Yeah, I don't even know how much.
Is that the very first series?
No, Alpha is, and they're Alpha. I know better than the even.
If I could open like a case of metal and chase a Jordan PMG, I think that would be fun just to rip that. I love that product anyway. Metal's one of my favorite products ever made.
Non-sports.
Any of the what was it like 2007 or 8 like exquisite I'd have to look at a checklist to where it's like you got Jordan, you got LeBron or Kobe, all these different options. I think that would be really fun.
But here's the thing: are we opening it? I mean, are we buying it to rip? Or are we buying it to just?
That's where I switched up the question. I switched up the question.
So if we're buying,
you're going to rip it. Yeah. Okay. So you're thinking about chases now.
Buying it
non-sport, right?
Non-sport and sports.
Well, anyway,
We'll see.
that's
A lot of the
that's where I was
non-sports-
going with the metal universe.
Beavis is
Yeah.
going 2017 Prism football.
I couldn't rip the non-sports only because I wouldn't know what I was looking for.
Wait, is the black finite 1 of 1 Mahomes out in the wild from 17?
I've never heard anybody specifically say it's not. Like they
can't
always say about the
remember.
Curry and the Luca and stuff like that. I haven't seen them say anything that it's not.
I don't know if I've ever seen it though, because that would be a multi-million-dollar card. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the golds are, I mean, a gold is probably a $500,000 card. I mean, maybe like 300 to 500. It's a huge card.
I think I have a gold in one of my videos, my first Chicago video.
I don't know if the black finite's ever been pulled. I don't know if anyone has that.
Seems like beta booster boxes are a couple 100,000, so you could.
Oh, that's it? You could get 5 of
That's
those.
You actually, I think I'd have to double check this. I think you'd actually want to rip starter decks, not booster boxes. I think you have a better.
Just tell me what I'm looking for at yard sales, and I'll pinpoint it. I'll pick some up.
Nobody's ripping 86 Fleer basketball. The true Jordan rookie.
Boring.
I'm just kidding.
Dustin's ripping star solo packs.
I'd open box
with the Jordan on the front already.
If I could find $1 million of team bags, but yeah, there's not enough. Okay, Grimm's going 17 National Treasures football. That's a good one.
Because we're chasing Mahomes there too.
For the Mahomes.
What about
the 101? Oh, there's a 1 of 1. Is there a black finite though? A 1 of 1 black. I need to look at a checklist.
But is that 1 of 1 gold? Is that an actual rookie, or is that sub rookie card inside of it?
All right, now I'm going to look up the checklist. There's got to be a black finite 1 of 1 because there's an Alvin Kamara one. I know who's got it. One of my buddies has got it. So there is a black finite 1 of 1 for Mahomes.
If you type it into Google, does it pop up? Like
there's black finite, and I know too. So and there's gold vinyl out of 5.
Yeah.
So that would be a monstrous card too. White sparkles, of course, are hard to find.
Somebody probably ripped it. It's sitting in like a 4-row in a shed somewhere. At the time, they weren't really thinking Mahomes was anything, and it's just waiting.
Yeah.
or even the cards?
Jacob brings up the 1 of 1 Curry. What is it? The Topps Chrome.
That's one that nobody's found.
Yeah, nobody's found that. So that would be actually fun. Going through $1 million of 2009 Topps Chrome for that. I mean,
The Luca Prism
Curry card.
What's Otani's first Bowman auto?
Those are tricky because they're redemptions.
Stinger.
He doesn't. Otani doesn't have a first Bowman auto. He has a rookie prospect.
It's a rookie.
Auto.
Yeah. It's just a rookie auto. Yeah.
But still, those are a lot of them are redemptions. Some of them are live, like the Atomics are live because Ryan Hogue pulled one at the National for one of their breaks. But a lot of them.
Didn't somebody recently pull one as well?
What's that?
Somebody recently pulled one also when they were doing a break on one.
That was the Ryan Hogue one. I didn't know if there was another one.
No, it wasn't an Atomic is why. It was just a base.
Oh, okay. Yeah, some of them are live and some of them are redemptions. I don't remember which.
So
I don't think I've ever seen the Japanese signed ones.
Turtles down here at 1026 says Prism Mahomes Black Finite is a BGS 9.5.
Oh, it's out there. Wow.
Auto or the base?
Sniper said that I'm tittling. You should just tittle them. Clickbait? No.
Tittles.
Tittles.
Tittles McGee.
Sniper, don't bring the tittles into the chat.
Tittles McGee. Anyway, actually, Dustin, video, was it 2 days ago? The one that you titled it "I'm quitting cards" or something. Maybe the
And
video
then you had
itself
another
was
one
good.
this week that said I quit. I was like, didn't he quit?
No.
Yeah, it's like Twitter week.
I was like, okay,
no.
this video is about me, but it wasn't. But I thought that was a good video. Maybe I don't know. Maybe he's thinking it didn't go along with the thumbnail or something. But I'm not sure.
The critical piece here, and I tried to explain this to another commenter, is it's titled "Why I Quit Collecting Sports Cards" in quotation marks. So that's where the context comes in. It's in quotation marks, and then on the thumbnail it says "I quit"
symbols that
in
people don't read
quotation
anymore.
marks, which means I'm quoting somebody else. So then if you watch the video, you see that there's a guy that made a video and it's why he quit sports cards, and I'm reacting to that video.
Very, very clickbaity, Dustin.
It's just clever, man. It's not clickbait. It's just clever.
That's internet fishing at its finest.
it's just fun when people try to dive in because they're so happy to see your pain, and then they get a little bit of a curveball. All right, that's awesome though.
I had a good clickbait one last week.
Yeah, Neil, I was calling.
Yeah, but people love to clickbait. Like you could put like forever. I used to try to be like, man, I'm not going to clickbait any of my videos. I just want to be real about it, and like nobody watches them. And then you put something on, and people watch them, but then they're like, oh man, this was a good video. So I'm like, well, it was a good video regardless of what my thumbnail was going to be. But the only reason people watched it was because of the thumbnail. Yeah. Yep. You know, if I did a video like our live stream a couple weeks ago, if I was to title that "Chilling in Prague, live streaming with my friends," nobody would watch it. If I was like chilling with Pragues, picking up hookers, everybody would be like, "Oh man, we gotta watch that live stream." 100%. And there would be like 5 seconds of a.
Well, no, and then people would be in the comments. Well, Steve, technically, you didn't pick up a hooker, so
right?
Technically,
he asked you for the time, and you made shit up.
Sniper, I did pretty good in my day, but I will say once I got married, I got the best pair that you're gonna get. So yeah, I did pretty good though. I did pretty good leading up to that.
Let's see what ChatGPT has to say about that.
Yeah, let's
Did you ever do the ChatGPT on SER?
It probably won't be that great because their title it's just going off the title of their YouTube channel.
Sure. Also, we should do one with AIH.
I'm reading this comment by Grim. Grim's got another question, and I immediately thought about the Iron Man card that Dustin bought. However, Neo didn't already have that. At 1029, he says, "I have another good question. If you could each take one card out of each other's collection, what would it be?" He took it before Neo had it.
Yeah, Neo would take this from me.
He took it before Neo had it, so Neo would take that back.
This might be the only one that Neo would want, probably, because we collect different stuff. All right. I didn't see any other answers in the chat on new product. Actually, we had some good ones. Okay, so wait, let me go back up here. Jeff Becker, 2023 NFL National Treasures. Is that the end of an era? Pac-Man opened a couple and it was brutal. It's usually brutal every year, but I guess what he's probably getting at is just that now Panini doesn't have Stroud autos, so you're going to have a lot of.
It doesn't even matter. None of it's game used really anymore either. So
it's pretty watered down.
It's all trash.
Yeah, there's nothing in it.
Until the hobby stops buying this and these breakers feel they don't have to have it and they refuse to purchase it, it's going to be forced down our throat. It's just that's how it's going to be. But again, it's gambling now, so everybody just treats it like a lottery ticket, so it doesn't matter.
Baseball question for you guys. MLB postponing Mets Braves to Monday to play a doubleheader to possibly decide a playoff spot. Does anybody have any thoughts on that?
I mean,
good for them.
The weather's the weather. They can't control that.
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah. You're running out of time, and the postseason starts when it starts. I mean, sorry.
I mean, I think it's always generally kind of been the way that it is. Rather,
I mean, does it put them at a disadvantage? Yeah, but you made it in. This is how it's working. I mean, you do what you got to do, and you move on. It's just that's sometimes how it works to grind it out.
Just win. Win.
Exactly.
That's what I tell my Saints to do every Sunday, and they usually just don't listen.
I'm also not a specific fan of either team, so it doesn't bother me. Maybe if it was my team, I'd be like, this is bullshit because I need to make something up to make myself feel better.
Well, I mean, as a manager, you know the scenario, right? Like I said, it may not seem unfair, but as a manager, you know the scenario, so don't use 10 pitchers.
Mm-hmm.
If you put yourself in a situation to use 10 pitchers, you probably lost.
Yep. And if you have to worry about even using half that many, you still got a problem.
All right. Well, gents, we are right at the 90-minute mark. The chat is slowing down, creeping to a halt. Yeah. So I think we should.
I get a hurricane update in 30 minutes.
Yeah, Ham's probably needs to put the hurricane windows up and batten down the hatches.
Rock you like a hurricane.
I'm going to play that on the way to work.
Dustin, we never heard about the project.
I'm probably going to go live on my way to work.
We never heard about the concert.
Oh, man, it was wicked. It was really, really good. Yeah, I was all in my feelings in that concert. It was so good.
So you saw Metallica shortly before.
So this is how
Now,
the last
it's tough
2
to
weeks
compare,
played
I
out.
would say, right? It would be tough to compare the two because they're so different, I would say. But
Metallica still bringing it, and they're smart. They actually they broke up their show. They do Friday and Sunday night, and they break up their hits over the 2 nights to make you buy for both nights. It's pretty smart, actually.
So Metallica divides their show into two, and you.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's how they make their dough. But I mean, not that they really need it. But the other thing I saw was Metallica is coming to Charlotte and to Virginia next May. So I'll be going again to see them in May because that's right down the street, basically. But so in the last 2 weeks, saw Metallica, saw Pearl Jam, and then while we were in Baltimore, that next night, Bruce Springsteen had to reschedule because of weather or something happened. So we ended up going to Bruce Springsteen that next night for like $60 a ticket, and we weren't like up close or anything, but it didn't matter. It was like, well, hell, we're here. We may as well. Like, when are we going to have another opportunity? We're already here. It was literally I think it was the Orioles Stadium. We were staying in like the Hilton. That's like right there next to Orioles
Stadium. Yeah.
Stadium. So yeah, it was awesome. So the last couple of weeks I've been spoiled with concerts. My brother went to
Springsteen in '98.
Oh, did you? Yeah, I've never seen him before. It was really good. Yes, I will be at this, Kev. That's where I'll be, Blacksburg, West Virginia. Let's do it. I'll see you there.
I've never seen Metallica. I'd like to.
Oh, dude, roll in for one or both of them. I told my wife because my birthday's in May. I mean, maybe that can be like,
So you said May is West Virginia?
So
Charlotte one?
Yeah, one of them is the end of April. I can't remember the dates, but I think Virginia is end of April, and then May 7th maybe is Charlotte. Yeah.
I have to look at that.
We'll plan it out. Yeah, it's.
But anyway, the Pearl Jam concert.
Pearl Jam was really, really good. Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, I don't know. I was like all in my feelings about it. We were like, like we were yelling and screaming and singing and all this stuff. It was good. Yeah, I had a few adult beverages. It was a fun time. But yeah, that's a concert. There was a guy that we met while we were there leading up, and he's like, "Yeah, this is my 32nd show." And we're like, "Damn, how does this guy go to 32 shows?" And then we watched it, and we are like, "Okay, I get it. Like, I understand how you go to 30 shows because it's just that good." So. Yeah, no, it's good. All right, guys. Well, I feel like we've done good work here tonight. Let's end on a high. We're here about 90 minutes in. Ham, take care of yourself tomorrow, and let's hope it doesn't move north to where the rest of us are.
It's shooting through the entire United States, cutting a knife.
Hopefully, it just takes out Ham and leaves.
And then it's going to do a loop-de-loop and then shoot back to the East Coast.
Man.
Doesn't matter. I have a whole nother one to worry about next Friday too coming. So,
all right. Well, let's just get through September. We got to get through hurricane season. We'll be all right.
September.
Yep.
I'm going to Salem, Massachusetts for Halloween.
I'm sorry.
It's going to be fun.
Oh, you're going to go to Salem's Lot?
Salem, where the witch trials and stuff were held.
Blair Witch Project?
It's just north of where my wife grew up. She grew up in Revere Beach, which is Boston, north. It's about 40 minutes away. She always wanted to go back to Salem, so we're going to go for a little 3-day weekend, check it out, all the Halloween stuff going on. It'll be crazy because it's like one of the busiest times of the year there, but it'll add to the buzz and the energy. So we'll see.
Yeah, we can only hope for a Spice Girls reunion. Look, we can dream and we can wish, but it's probably never going to happen. All right, gents, we will see you all in 2 weeks. We will be back on to talk concerts, cards, football, and tittles.
Hopefully I'm 4-1. Hopefully I'm 4-1 in fantasy.
Hopefully I'm 2-2.
All right, guys. See you next time.
Good night.
See you guys.